Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Host Eddie Frederick.
Welcome to Caribbean Perspective. So glad you can join us. The story that dominates in today's edition for Monday, 18th August 2025, and brought to you in association with our friends at Antillean Group. Central Bank of the Bahamas issues strict warning to all regulated banks to be on the lookout for transactions that could involve funds headed to Haitian gangs. Details after this important message.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all perils, big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so glad to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillean Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
Is now upon us, so we as Caribbean people need to remember to think safety and be prepared. Avoid venturing outside during a storm or hurricane, especially if there are strong winds. Rooftops and other debris are often blown about and can cause great damage.
Welcome back. The Central Bank of the Bahamas has issued a strict directive to all supervised financial institutions to urgently review their client portfolios. Financial institutions are mandated to report all findings, whether positive or negative, to the Central Bank. This ZNS News item has more.
The move follows instructions from the Office of the Attorney General and is enforced under Section 3A of the International Obligations, Economic and Ancillary Measures Amendment Act of 2019, aligning with the UN Security Council Resolution 2653/2022. The Central Bank has identified 7 individuals on the UN sanctions list whose assets must be scrutinized. These include Jimmy Cherizier, widely known as Barbecue, and other key figures linked to Haiti's ongoing gang violence crisis. Financial institutions are mandated to report all findings, whether positive or negative, to the central bank. Any confirmed links must also be communicated promptly to the Financial Intelligence Unit and the Attorney General's Office.
CARICOM Industrial Policy and Strategy SIPS consultations have begun across the region with a view to finalization. Tiana Cole of HGP Nightly News reports.
The Ghana-based Caribbean Community CARICOM Secretariat said that consultations with key stakeholders have begun across the region to finalize the CARICOM Industrial Policy and Strategy CIPS, expected to be approved regional trade ministers later this year. It said that Suriname, which holds responsibility for the industrial policy in the CARICOM cabinet, is spearheading work towards its completion to present it to a special meeting of the Council for Trade and Economic Development, quoted in October 2025. The Secretariat said that the work to be carried out in time for that meeting includes deeper engagements with key stakeholders in the business community, and that already consultations have been held with stakeholders in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, while others are planned for later in August.
Trinidad and Tobago's upcoming national celebrations to mark its 63rd independence anniversary will be a quiet one without the fanfare for security concerns. More in this TTT News item with Mahalia Joseph Wharton.
The Ministry of Homeland Security said instead of the annual parade, citizens from every faith and community are being called to gather in unity to seek strength, to reflect on where we are as a nation, and to consider the way forward in these challenging times. It's not the first time celebrations have been paused. In 2020 and 2021, COVID-19 brought the parade to a halt. Now, security concerns have led to this shift in tradition. The state-sponsored fireworks display will also be cancelled, with only silent fireworks allowed for private use, a move aimed at protecting both public safety and the peace of vulnerable persons and pets. The ministry said this year's observance is a reminder that independence is not only celebrated in the streets, it's also honoured in the spirit of togetherness. Mahalia Joseph Wharton, TTT News.
The 4th Afro-Caribbean Trade and Investment Forum, Active 2025, held in St. George's, Grenada, with addresses by numerous representatives from Africa and the Caribbean, as well as from the United Nations. Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew of St. Kitts and Nevis explored opportunities to create more contact and opportunities in the build-out of stronger trade and investment between Africa and the Caribbean. Glenn Bart of SKN Newsline reports.
Speaking on behalf of the Caribbean community, Secretary General Dr. Carla Barnett spoke of the multi-pronged approaches being undertaken to build relations and provide context of the importance of the Afro-Caribbean Trade and Investment Forum.
This forum is becoming a foundation on which we can and will strengthen trade and investment cooperation and engagements, of course, in priority areas for both the Caribbean region and the African continent, moving from policy discussion to real action. We know we have common legacy challenges that persist in the current global distribution systems and logistics. Our external trade far exceeds our intra-regional trade. Our similar efforts at regional integration, the development of the CARICOM single market and economy, and the African Continental Free Trade Area seek to address this. We must also decisively open the door to greater trade between our regions. CARICOM trade with the continent must grow beyond the current levels of less than 3%, let me repeat that number, 3% of our overall trade, particularly with the uncertainty that currently looms over trade with traditional partners. CARICOM is committed to deepening its collaboration with the Afreximbank in key areas of common interest. To ensure consistent and collaborative outcomes, steps are being taken to conclude a memorandum of understanding between CARICOM and the Afreximbank, so that together we can drive the partnership in particular areas, such as trade, logistics, and connectivity, to increase economic, financial, and trade linkages while bringing our two regions together in mutually reinforcing ways.
The 2025 forum is being held under the theme Resilience and Transformation, Enhancing Africa-Caribbean Economic Cooperation in an Era of Global Uncertainty. 53 participating African states and 12 Caribbean states are taking part in the forum. Glenn Bart reporting for SKN Newsline.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick, in association with our friends at
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
The People's National Party, PNP, has unveiled its vision for governance under the theme Mission Jamaica Love, a people's pledge to country. CVM's Raymond Morrison has details.
Party leader Mark Golden says their manifesto presented on Tuesday will improve the lives of ordinary citizens.
We understand both the progress and the pain because we have walked this road with you. We were the architects of Jamaica's celebrated macroeconomic reforms, from the key elements of the fiscal responsibility framework to the modernization of the revenue system, bringing the nation's debt under control and allowing a regime of inflation targeting to be introduced. Prior to all that, our party initiated the fundamental social reforms that decolonized Jamaican society and created lasting programs like PATH for our most vulnerable, the National Health Fund to support affordable health care, and JADEP for our seniors.
Among the new measures announced, a plan to introduce participatory budgeting and local planning. This, Golden says, will allow citizens to help decide how taxpayers' dollars are spent. It is seen as a view that may strike a chord with many, as Jamaicans have long called for a greater say in how resources are used.
And we will establish a national People's Assembly, including diaspora representatives, to review laws and shape policy impacting local communities. We will introduce participatory budgeting and local planning, where citizens help to decide the spending priorities, which is contemplated by the 3 strategic laws.
Golden also promised to address classism and social divisions, while criticizing the current government for what he describes as an abuse of power.
We will protect economic stability and leverage it into inclusive and sustainable growth, creating a new era of opportunities for those who are now excluded from prosperity, while tackling corruption and the abuse of power in governance.
The opposition's address closed with the now familiar PNP rally cry, "Time Come," a direct message to voters that the time has come to remove the Jamaica Labour Party from office.
Jamaica, time come to lift our country higher. Time come to lift our country higher and build a future that belongs to all of us. Let us take this journey together.
The party also highlighted its commitment to accessibility, releasing the manifesto in both standard English and patois, reaching across all social and economic divides.
Or patois version is going to be circulated on WhatsApp. It is accessible, and one of the ways that we answer the questions that people have about how we will break it down is by allowing that to be accessible in the language that we speak every day.
And in what many would see as true PNP style, Tomlinson, the events compare, made a sharp jab at the GLP, calling out the misspelling of Jamaica in the governing party's campaign materials.
Trust me, on this side, we can spell Jamaica. You are indeed up next.
The PNP says its 10-pillar plan is designed to build trust, boost economic growth, and unite the country. Whether voters see it as the path forward will be decided at the polls. Raymond Morrison.
Guyana's President Dr. Irfan Ali has told residents of Alexander Village that in today's complex global environment, safeguarding Guyana's sovereignty and national security must remain a top priority. Tiana Cole of HGP Nightly News reports.
He urged them to remember that when they vote on September 1, they will be choosing a trusted international partner in the PPPC government to safeguard these national interests.
Never before in the history of this country have we formed so many strategic security partnership and alliance to defend our sovereignty and our national security interests.
He emphasized that over the past 5 years, his administration has developed the most inclusive and broad-based security partnerships.
It is important that we have a magnitude of partners. It is important that we can rely on these partners to support us in our national defense and security.
The president told residents that a vote for the PPPC on September 1 is a vote to renew and expand these critical partnerships.
You are voting to ensure that our country remains safe with this partnership we have worked hard on creating.
He further stated that voters should also consider the government's plan to strengthen port security, create an integrated security system to combat drug trafficking and other illicit activities, and deepen cooperation with international partners.
You are voting to ensure that integrated partnership is formulated to make Guyana safe, to keep our borders safe, and to ensure that our country is leading on the security front.
Several political opponents, while on the campaign trail, have also indicated their intentions to ensure Guyana's sovereignty. Presidential candidate for a Partnership for National Unity has long accused the incumbent of not doing enough, whether it's awareness or improving Guyana's military capacity to safeguard our sovereignty. Tiana reporting for the HGP 93 News.
Presidential candidate of the We Invest in Nationhood Win Party, Azurin Mohammed, has issued a firm challenge to the government of Guyana and the Venezuelan embassy to produce evidence that he has visited the embassy and applied for a visa to travel to Caracas. Althea Grant of HGP Nightly News reports.
Mohammed in a press statement said, the quote allegations are once again baseless, malicious, and a politically motivated smear campaign, end of quote, designed to distract from government corruption. It was Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation Hugh Todd who appeared on a Department of Public Information's special program Monday afternoon, stating that the ministry, quote, summoned the ambassador to a meeting, after which they discovered that the Mohammeds were frequently visiting the Venezuelan embassy, and that the Venezuelan ambassador had, quote-unquote, confirmed that they had visited to apply for visas to travel to Caracas. Todd also attempted to link these supposed actions to a U.S. congressman's comments about gold smuggling and money laundering and Mohammed's alleged ties to the Maduro regime. Mohammed said he has never visited the Venezuelan embassy, nor has he applied for a visa to travel to Venezuela. To this end, he says the Venezuelan embassy should produce the proof, present any record of his entry to the embassy, show the Guyanese people a single shred of documentation of him applying for a visa. Mohammed said it is the Ali administration who is in bed with the government of Venezuela, and this presents a looming danger to our national sovereignty.
I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel for daily regional news and more, in association with our friends at Antillian Group.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all perils, big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so clear to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.